Hey everybody, welcome to the Serving Pleasure Podcast. Is that too loud?
Very loud.
I'm Ethan Jesse.
And I'm Harry Yost.
We also have two special guests here with us today. Could you say hi?
Hi, I'm Bailey.
Hi, I'm Wesley.
And this is the podcast where we talk about trashy romance novels.
Everyone, let's say it together.
The best
kind
kind
of
of
novels.
Someone doesn't
Bella.
listen to the podcast. So today we're going to be doing a couple of things. Sorry for the late arrival, but we were getting a lot of things in order. One of the things that we're doing is introducing two new members, as you've heard. Wesley and Bailey are going to be starting their own splinter group of Serving Pleasure podcast called Exotic Erotic, if you want to say that together loud into the mic.
Exotic erotic.
How sexy is that, ladies and gents?
That's how we're reading it.
We'll be shouting at you the entire time.
So what we've got for you today is just a brief rundown of how we felt about Chapter 8 and then the Duchess of Love as a whole. And then we're going to introduce our new books for you. So, Harry, do you want to start off with a discussion on Chapter 8?
So Chapter 8.
I know you were very excited about it.
I was very excited until I went back and listened to it, and I've never felt more uncomfortable in my life.
It's times like these when we think about how our parents are listening to it.
Right, exactly.
And they're the first listeners.
But then I also think of that, and I think of the time my mom stole 50 Shades of Grey from me after I was done reading it, and then wanted to have like a little book club in the car about it. So you're welcome, Mom. We can talk about things. But The Duchess of Love, Chapter 8, things finally went down, and honestly, I was a little underwhelmed.
Yeah.
When you listen to me reading it, you can't tell because I was so wrapped up in the moment that I was like, this is great. But really...
It was more of a payoff because, like, oh, finally. It wasn't necessarily even a good scene to read.
It was not a good scene to read. Frankly, it wasn't that romantic because he, like at the end when
He was still being a huge asshole.
Wesley, do you have things to say?
I'm partial to someone being an asshole in mid-coitus. That's...
Why not have three assholes in the mix?
Are we talking literal assholes?
Two
or-
literal assholes and one figurative
I
one.
feel like that's
There's just one guy off to the side. Oh, you guys suck at this! I'd be so much better in between you two.
That was Archie. That's just Archie's style. Archie sits on the side like, bark! Woof! Leave now!
Let me get in there. I'm sick of sitting on the
Yeah.
sidelines.
I've been in this pond the whole book.
I don't know, it just didn't feel like there was a real character arc for any of the characters. And
No.
yes, I will judge this book from a literary standpoint. I'm sorry. I wanted
First you judged it by its cover, and that didn't pay off.
No, actually, the cover really did
No,
not
it
pay
was very
off.
misleading for
Yeah.
y'all.
It was. But, I think the part that really gets me, too, is at the end when the Duke of Greycliff tells his lady love, I'm going to take you back to your father looking nice and compromised. Now, okay, let me just throw this out there. You are a duke. Back in those days, everyone and their mom, literally, their mom wants to marry you because you are a duke. You could have taken her back looking like she's the Virgin Mary. And her dad would be like, take her.
Shotgun wedding!
Marry me to your daughter. Do it. I fucked her good.
God is my witness.
So anyway,
I mean, I don't know if I have it. It ends really abruptly.
it does end really abruptly.
And that's because it's like a clear sequel hook, which I guess we can get into now. In case we haven't talked about it before, this book is a prequel to the series Betting Lord Ned, in which
Drew?
no, not Drew, because it's not about Drew. It's about
no. It's about Venus.
about Venus's. That's her name. I haven't read this book in a long time. It's about Venus and how she's trying to set up her son to get married.
She named him Ned just so that she could call the operation
Betting Lord
Ned.
Ned.
She just wakes up every morning and rips the sheets from him. Time to get out of bed. You gotta bed you, Lord Ned. And then she like breaks on.
Can't
like,
get in bed if you can't. Don't get out.
Yeah, so Venus is trying to play matchmaker again because that worked super well the first time.
And like,
Hey,
if-
got her laid.
it got her. It did indeed.
And we don't even get any payoff as to what happened between Aphrodite and Nigel.
No,
They
we
both
don't.
had glasses.
But
They
here's
both
the
had
thing.
glasses.
They both had glasses, and here's the thing. I think Sally Mackenzie is like, who gives a shit about their future? They're both nerds. They're probably gonna sit in bed reading. Because if we're gonna look at this entire story, the entire time, all we focus on is Aphrodite's beauty.
Yeah, we hear how beautiful she is without any actual physical descriptions, and
Trust me.
Any,
Trust me.
that was enough for me.
It's just like Venus going, no. I know. I know my sister.
Don't look at her. She's beautiful.
Don't look at her. She is.
Just trust me.
She like they just keep her like, what's behind door number 1? I'll
It's-
tell you, she's
it's
beautiful.
It's my beautiful sister. It's beauty.
Just choose it. It's great.
What's behind door number 2?
No one cares. It's not my sister.
There isn't a door number 2. There's only number 1. It's my sister.
There's no beauty behind door number 2.
It's a brick wall. It's a brick wall with glasses on it.
It's taped on.
Yeah, but we talk about how beautiful she is, and anytime that intellect is mentioned a single time in the book, it's like, oh, how fucking annoying is that, right?
Like in the beginning when they're all reading, the whole family, she's like, what a bore.
What a bore. I'm gonna go swim naked with my dog.
Who needs education when I have my nudity and a dog?
It's just... We were gonna do a supercut of every single time that Venus says Didy is beautiful, but that's a lot of work.
But that's going to be an episode within itself, if we're going to be totally honest.
There's
The
another
longest.
half-hour episode of every time Venus wants to fuck her sister. I feel like I've said fuck too many times. Oh well.
This is PG.
Yeah,
Watch
people
your
who
language.
listen to chapter 8 know how family-friendly we are, Ethan. You should maybe keep.
Cock rose from my trousers, and
But speaking of
Breaches.
the F-bomb,
yeah.
I would like to revisit chapter 1, though, and talk about the meet cute that was Drew and Venus and how
Oh
not
no,
cute
that
it
was in chapter 2.
Oh, that was chapter 2. That's right. Sorry. All these chapters and
Yeah,
just
we
a
didn't.
jumble.
I feel like we didn't address this well enough because we didn't have a chapter 2 wrap up. But holy shit, chapter 2 is kind of creepy and weird.
Chapter 2 was super creepy. Like, if we're going to be talking about, oh, this is how I want to introduce the male heroine that I'm going to be really rooting for the entire novel, I don't know, maybe first posing him as a potential rapist isn't the most flattering.
Like, that's...
Chapter 2 should have a trigger warning.
It should.
It
You know
should
what?
have a
It should
trigger.
have. I'm sorry. We should have
Yeah.
put a trigger.
We should have. Everyone hears the trigger warning now.
It's
creepy.
In case you want to listen to this first and then go back and listen
Or
to
if
the
you want to
book.
listen to chapter 2 again, warning.
Yeah.
Warning.
If you didn't catch it the first time, it's creepy.
Right?
Chapter
creepy.
2 has an
Somehow went
almost
over
rape
your
scene
head.
in it.
Yo, well, and she's saying it, and then she's like, oh, he's not that bad.
And
No!
And that's the spawn of their relationship, where two people are supposed to love each
Oh,
other.
hashtag not all men.
Oh, God. It's just frightening, and I didn't like it.
So, you know, like, we look at chapter 2, where we have, like, the advent of the I'm not want to actually say it,
Yeah.
but if we're going to talk about meet cutes and how they actually met, well, we can say it's something else that you can think of in your own head, because I don't want to say it out loud. But anyway, and then, like, the end chapter when they finally do it, and he's all like, heh, now you're fully compromised. I really do feel like he tricked her. That was a trick into consensual unions.
It makes me really curious as to what his role is in Betting Lord Ned. I'm not going to read it. Spoilers, we're not reading Betting Lord Ned. We don't want to put you through that
Spoilers, there
again.
won't be any spoilers.
Spoilers.
for betting.
No spoilers for Betting Lord Ned. No one here is going to read it. We also wanted to talk about chapter 4, and that's when we really started noticing things were going downhill. Just
You could
because,
tell.
yeah,
You guys were just bummed.
that was what I did by myself. So-
This one-
Oh,
could
that was the
definitely
one. Oh my god, that one was something else.
Yeah, that one has the least amount of listens so far, and I don't really blame anybody.
It's like they knew before
Yeah.
they even clicked on it.
Screw all the listeners listening right now. If this gets more listens than that chapter,
You're confused. You don't even know what's
you
happening.
skipped a chapter.
Nothing happened. No, I don't blame you. Nothing happened in chapter 4. During the chapter, I say it like 100 times that nothing happened.
Also, you kept setting up for a scene that wasn't gonna happen.
All right, we don't
way
need to
later.
talk about the way that I did that. I just didn't want. I didn't want to work on it. Spoilers. I was very lazy about this book. That's
Yeah.
not spoilers. That's just a fact.
I think it's just everyone knows.
So I think the book started that both of us were really excited to be beginning the project. And once we realized that erotic novels are mostly boring, that's when it hit us in chapter 4. Well, I mean, Wesley, have you read like a full erotic novel?
No. The only full kind of erotic novel I read was Once Upon a Prom, book 1.
Wait, what is this about? Do I need to add this to my summer reading list?
Highly recommended, 5 stars. I did a book report on it in 8th grade.
Yeah, you did.
And I don't know, it was just like following all these girls getting ready for prom and boy drama, a lot of kissing of other people's dates.
Oh.
And then there's also just like this odd chapter in which it discusses like Indian tradition. Because one of the characters was Indian, so, you know, might as well
But was
try and
there?
get into diversity right there.
But was there heavy petting?
Was there dry humping?
I don't know. Really, this just sounds
Rather
like
tame.
this just sounds
That
like an
doesn't-
ABC Family show.
That sounds
Yeah.
like an ABC Family or just like.
So no, you've never read a
You've
full
never read a full
erotic
erotic-
novel.
Guys!
Well, I think with our venture, we're going to notice that a lot of expositions with these novels are going to drag. And so we're just going to have to work harder to pull
Is it
through
drag or suspense?
You know,
Tension.
I say drag.
Yeah, it's drag.
It's-
That is a joke.
It's
It's
suspense
drag.
that eventually becomes drag when there's an excessive amount of it.
Like
Which
without
there
chapter
is.
2, I feel like there wouldn't have been that big bump.
All I have to say though is I am
Defending chapter 2. I'm
defending
sorry.
chapter 2.
In defense of chapter 2, it was spicy.
Oh.
Not gonna cut it
Trigger
out.
warning to Ethan's insensitivity. But
I'm
No,
sorry.
one thing though that I am a little disappointed about with the Duchess of Love is that shit actually got real in chapter 8. Because if we ended that book and nothing had happened, I was going to write a chapter. And I was going to read it for everyone. But after chapter 8, I was like, well, I guess there's nothing to write.
If they hadn't done it in chapter 8, it would not have been an erotic novel.
No,
Like,
it
it would have been
a
mislabeled.
waste of time.
We would have failed you. I would take every single file off of SoundCloud and no one could hear it. No one could waste their time like I did.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about Archie?
Yeah, let's talk about Archie.
He's prominently placed on the book's cover, appears in 2 chapters, and goes away forever.
He does. And then we have some mere mentionings of him. And what I think is really
That's not
funny
enough.
is that Archie was one of the reasons why we chose this. Well, sold me on this novel.
Well, here's the thing. We actually picked this book because we looked at Betting Lord Ned first, and we saw the cat, and then we just couldn't get it. Because there's a cat on Betting Lord Ned's cover reaching up into a woman's dress.
Oh.
And I was like, ooh, what's that kitten getting into? And they were like, hold on, there's a prequel.
Like 0.5 of the series.
And we read it because we didn't know what it meant.
Why did she think she needed to write that? People were really
People were
lost.
writing in letters saying, I want to know what these characters
Okay,
were
but
up
what's
to.
up with Ned's parents?
What was their
the
backstory?
one letter she received.
And did she have a dog?
I
I don't want to hear that much about the dog.
I may
I
or
just
may
want to know
not-
if there was.
may or may not insert a sample of what she wrote for her Betting Lord Ned tease. at the end
Oh
of the book
yeah,
here.
we do have it.
Our time to talk about the superficiality of the book.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Time to get into actual literary themes, which you didn't expect out here.
Whoa! We have college educations,
Might as well use them.
right?
I don't know if you know this, but I am a psychologist. I got a degree in everything.
Anyway.
Anyway, but no, this book, like we kind of seen before, is pretty superficial when it comes to like Venus. All she really cares about are looks. She cares about Aphrodite's looks. She cares about her looks, probably. Do we hear about her
It's
looks as
inferred.
much? It's inferred.
It's
mean, if
you
she
know
doesn't-
she's pretty. You know she's pretty.
You know she's pretty. Like, if she doesn't want to sit down and read a book, you know she's
She's
just
got better stuff going
You know,
on.
if she doesn't want to sit down and she just wants to like go out to the water or she wants to go out shopping because we had to listen to all of these dress explanations, all these ribbon explanations, all of these things about how these other women would come and Venus was judging them probably for their size.
Well, the thing is, every time. Well, yeah, that's true because they were the fatter characters,
Yeah.
and they were like made fun of a lot by even the book. It said people were stomping out of carriages.
Right? Or like the ones where they're talking about how like what's her face eats all these tarts. You know what? If I were what's her face, I would want to eat a lot of tarts too. I do eat a lot of tarts.
Tarts are good.
They're
Who
delicious.
thought that he was talking about a woman? Like a tart.
I totally thought that. And I was like, oh.
I'm gonna write in a letter and ask for a prequel to this prequel just to explore
Number 0, you mean?
Ooh.
I actually want to listen.
0.25.
I want to hear Archie's backstory and how he came to be. How Archie's
I want to know how
parents-
Archie was born. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how Archie's
The
parents.
concept-
Betting Lord
Archie.
Archie.
What would be the king? Betting K9? I don't want to try on that anymore.
It's just every time
the
you
K9 king.
meet a character, it's someone's shit talking how they look.
Yeah, but or then like you go to the men's side of things, and it's like my plants are dying. Look at the bugs.
I feel like that's the most personality we got out of any male character, really, other than asshole
Yeah.
or has glasses.
Yeah.
And just talks like Nigel.
It's like that. I don't remember how to do Nigel's voice anymore. I'd make a joke in it, but it's gone.
You could try. You want to try?
Nope.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, there it is.
I forgot.
I'm Nigel.
Oh, guys, I
That's
couldn't
right.
possibly.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty right.
bashful.
Yeah.
So bashful. Just like Nigel. Glasses Kun-chan. That's for me. That's for me. Oh, we wanted to talk about the narrator and how inconvenient it really was. Because it kept switching back and forth, but it wasn't reliable, and it was in third person no matter what.
Yes.
Because it was Deity's thoughts, and it was Drew's thoughts, but
Venus's thoughts. I would love to hear Deity's
it
thoughts.
was... Who are these characters?
Deity had no thoughts.
Deity had no thoughts.
She's beautiful.
too pretty to have.
Beautiful.
All she's thinking is just the word beautiful at all
And all
times.
these different languages
Yeah.
that she knows.
she's not actually beautiful. She's brainwashing people into thinking she's beautiful
Yeah.
by thinking the word at them.
Venus is brainwashing people to think she's
Right.
beautiful.
Not
Um,
me.
Bullying people.
But with the narrator, though, in my defense, I think that's why I totally bulldozed the chapter. Because one, yes, I will admit, got a little caught up in the moment. It was an exciting time for the Duchess of Love. And two, with that one, it was really hard to tell who was thinking what, who was, well, we all know who was doing what, but who should be reading that one. I don't know.
I don't know.
But it happened.
We'll figure it out next time. But you know what? I'm going to scapegoat the book on this one. It's not my fault.
It's not my fault.
I don't think anyone's defending the book.
This has been nothing but an indictment of the Duchess of Love.
But Sally Mackenzie, thank you for writing it.
It's
Oh.
a treasure.
I thought it was a good choice for a first book at the very least.
I thought so too. It was quick. It made us realize that we can read out loud. I need to work on voices.
Mhm.
My animal noises, though.
It was a practice book. Consider this our book 0.5.
Oh.
Our prequel before
The
the
podcast
actual
0.5.
podcast.
It's your pleasure,
This is the
0.5.
dress rehearsal.
And it's before the website launch that we're recording this. So. That, I should take this out.
I was like, there's no website.
Not everyone is in the know. Do we have any wrap-up thoughts on the book? I feel like that's all I figured. Oh, wait, I had one more thing that I wanted to say. I don't know why, but over time, the word blackguard became very offensive to me.
Yes,
And
it
I don't
did.
know why.
Oh, I'm going to write down, because there was I wrote this down. There was a point where you told me, you were like, Harry, write this down. I'm offended by the use of blackguard.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Drew would always say, the blackguard! And I'm like, and I think Venus said it once, and I don't know what it means, and I never looked it up like all the other weird words in the book. But something about it was just, alright, I gotta fill time for you to look it up. something about it just offended me, and it might have been my delivery with it. It may have been the overuse of it within the book in regards to everything that inconvenienced people.
Blackguard, noun, dated. A person, particularly a man, who behaves in a dishonorable or contemptible way.
So it's not actually that bad, but it felt like it.
It's a rather old-fashioned term for a scoundrel, according to Wikipedia.
I like the word scoundrel
kind
better.
of old-fashioned as well.
We can make
Tell
it
that to
new
Mr.
fashion.
Wikipedia.
Bring it
back!
Bring back
Ne'er-
scoundrel!
Those ne'er-dwells.
Hashtag bring back scoundrel.
Trending.
Trend it. Make it trend. Alright, sorry. Then, wrap up thoughts. If we could use, I don't know, one word to describe the Duchess of Love, and if you want to rank it out of 10, go for it. But I'm just going to use a word. That's my ranking system. How about we each create our own individual ranking system?
So there's no comparison.
There's no way to compare. And
Double
then,
blind.
and then we'll talk about it. So I'll say my one word to describe the Duchess of Love, and that is meandering. It takes too long to get things done all the time. That's why we cut most of it out.
Truth. Oh, that wasn't my one word.
The Duchess of Love is true.
That's
This is the real world. Get used to it.
Because when you think that things are going to speed up, they slow down. And then you have to talk about petty things. No, my Duchess of Love word would be happened. It happened.
On a scale of 32 to
You're going to make this consistent over
4,000.
all of your rates?
I'm gonna give it 33.
Well, that's pretty low.
Just kidding. I'll give it a
Nice.
500.
Uh,
It's 32 to 4,000. I'll give it a 500.
That's still pretty low.
Yeah. so
So-
Ethan, you were the one that told us all
Okay.
to come up with our
You're-
own rating systems.
All right, whatever.
Are you expecting it to be higher as well?
yeah, you are you?
Ah.
You're right.
Yeah, like what?
I keep backing up and defending the Duchess. I'm like, hey guys,
Like don't take it
let's not be
personally
too
either.
mean.
But you know, on that note, thank you, Sally
Sally is
McCarthy,
my-
for writing
Sally
the Duchess of
Mackenzie
Love.
is my aunt.
500 is still a big number.
Come find me. I miss you.
Tell me more about your story.
What about Venus's parents?
Yeah, how did
Go back further.
All right, Wesley, what's your rating?
I give it 3 pancakes, and I'm not gonna give out of. I'm just giving it 3 pancakes.
Just imagine you sit down at a table and you're given 3 pancakes.
what kind of
That's-
pancakes? Do you have a flavor for those ratings?
Just
I think flavor should be your rating.
it's always 3 pancakes.
They taste like the first pancakes I ever made, which lacked a lot of the ingredients necessary to make pancakes.
They're real water.
And if you think about it, this book does lack a lot of the ingredients to
That
make
go
a
into an
traditional
make a
erotic novel.
story.
Ooh, ice cold.
But really, Sally McKinley.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God,
Thank
you
you.
bless
You have
God
a gift. You have a gift.
But guys, we don't need to be that mean to the Duchess of Love. Come on, leave it alone. All right, cool. So that's our wrap up of the Duchess of Love. I hope you enjoyed reading it. And now we're going to move into, everyone's looking at my pocket because I'm trying to get my phone. We're going to move into our new book introductions.
I was looking at your pocket.
So Harry, you and I can talk about the new bone we're going to be walking into.
The new bone we're going to be writing, if you will, listener.
we are riding on to the Bone Rider.
Give the people what
What
they want.
Give the riders what they want to bone. All right.
Bone the
So
writers
the
what they
next
wanna give.
book by the founding team of Serving Pleasure Podcast is Bone Rider by Jay Falley. We'll go in again and we're going to talk about what the cover looks like to judge this book by its cover. I think it's pretty boring.
I agree. So we're looking at some clouds over, what is that?
It's a
mountain?
mountain range in the
Red
desert.
cloud.
Yeah, it's like a red mountain desert dirt road.
There's a dirt road going up to a mountain in the desert.
Leading off to where? No one knows.
At the start of the road is a large white font saying Bone Rider.
With the name so explicit, You'd think that the cover would have more going on.
Right?
I guess it doesn't. Less is more, you know?
But I mean, if you look at that font, I guess, that font looks like it's been rolled over.
I'm hoping this takes place in the
Really
Wild
gritty.
West with a font like that.
I want it to be like about a trucker.
Well, shall we read what it's about?
All right, cool. We'll read the synopsis.
Wait, that's the shortest little synopsis.
I got. Well, that's all I got.
Goodreads has a longer one.
Does it? No,
Yeah.
I don't want.
But
I don't. I don't want.
But I wanna. Should I bring my phone out?
You can bring your phone out. Here's all right. So here's my little summary.
Okay.
Riley Cooper is on the run. Misha Tokarev, the love of his life, turned out to be an assassin for the Russian mob. And when it comes to character flaws, Riley draws the line at premeditated murder. That sounds pretty dope.
That sounds.
I draw the line at
sold.
premeditated murder, okay?
Okay, whether or not this is an erotic novel, I feel like it's going to be a more interesting
Are you sure
book
it is?
overall.
Erotic?
Well,
You found it under the romance section,
Okay.
or we're just going
I didn't know if you just saw Bone Rider and, like,
I mean,
assumed.
we did go to fiction, romance, available now, and then Bone Rider was there.
So
Some
if Bone,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah,
my
I
god,
think
I'm so frightened. Okay, so how could Bone Rider not be an erotic novel? Who would title a book that way if they didn't want someone to pick it up and go, "Oh, I'm gonna get this book moist"? I don't know how.
sorry, I just
Have
heard-
you ever been to a library and picked up one of these books? They are covered in droplets of something.
I'll tell you when you're older.
I don't know
Have
why
you ever been to
they're.
a thrift shop and picked them up, and the bindings are so worn that they just open
use
right
it
to the page?
Peel it apart.
Is it water that they spill out of the books?
Sorry, I'm reading more about Bone Rider.
Harry, no, we're going in cold.
It's a synopsis.
She looked up synopsis, which is just a description of everything that's in the book.
All I know is that I saw something about aliens.
No! Don't spoil me! Don't spoil me!
Get off our turf.
But
Yeah, they still have to explain what they do. We picked up Bone Rider because it's called Bone Rider.
it is. And honestly, I think what I just saw was Armed Forces, which you talked about.
Shut that down. Shut that down.
I'm shutting
All
it
right,
down.
so that's coming up
Hoping for the best.
us. We're going to keep trying with our upload schedule of Sundays and Wednesdays. If that doesn't work, I'll post something about it on our Twitter or Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at ServingPP. Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/servingpodcast. They wouldn't let me put the word pleasure in there. They said it was a banned word.
What?
Yeah.
Prudes.
Fruit. Yeah. All right. Take it away.
All right, so
Who are you? And what do you want?
Oh my God.
Wesley.
And I'm Bailey.
Very-
You'll never
very
learn.
enthusiastic.
You will never learn our last names. We're trying to make it so as little as people as
There's an
possible. to
air
know.
of mystery about us.
Yeah.
I'll just tell them.
Sabotage. So like Ethan said at the beginning of the podcast, our show is called Exotic Erotic, where we will be exploring books that really dive knee deep into Orientalism.
What's
Or-
Orientalism?
You'll know. You'll know.
It's where you go and you have characters in Africa, Middle East, Asia, the Orient. I'm doing quotation marks with my
You're gonna have to say
fingers
that every time
because I don't actually use the term because it's very terrible.
it's very offensive. As a
Um,
Chinese American, it's
and
very offensive.
it's this romanticized version of particularly men and women in Africa, especially women, in which they're overly sexualized and they just have their genitalia is usually
Special.
there's something special about it.
Something.
It's like they have the Twin Towers sitting on top of their balls.
This isn't Sonic High.
It's not Sonic High School.
So our first book that we're diving into is called Captured by a Sheik by Jacqueline Diamond.
Jacqueline Diamond.
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
It's just Jacqueline Diamond. Hey, you forgot to describe the cover.
Oh,
Oh, so
that's good.
It's a good thing I'm here.
the cover of it.
I really
Well,
like
there's
it.
the Sheik, man in kind of stereotypical Saudi Arabian like garb, and
Holding
he's-
a Caucasian baby.
scandal.
Kissing its face. The baby's the,
The
only one
baby's
with its eyes
emotionless.
open.
And the baby's
the
emotionless.
baby's the only one
It's
conscious.
staring into the reader's eyes. And then the woman on the other side of the baby is
Presumably the mother.
presumably the one captured. Maybe the baby was
Is it
captured.
Jacqueline?
That's
Yeah, is this an autobiography about Jacqueline Diamond?
they both appear to be smelling the baby. You know, that new
And-
baby smell.
And the mother it looks very pleased. She doesn't look like she was captured.
She looks like she's gotten used to it.
Cabin fever.
Maybe the baby was
She's
captured
already
by the
gone
Sheik.
mad.
So
Someone's got to handle this summary, because it's
Okay.
not me. It's your team.
Should I read the whole thing?
just do this for us, Ethan.
Okay, so this is our little synopsis. He'd come to claim his child. For Holly Rivers, giving her sister's baby a home and a father were her only priorities. So, a marriage of convenience seemed the only solution, until a sensual stranger stole her and baby Ben and conquered her body and soul. The red-haired siren raising his son wasn't what Sheikh Sharif al-Khalil had expected. Nor was the white-hot passion that consumed them both. But love was a luxury he couldn't afford. Sharif's enemies had followed him from his homeland, threatening Holly and his child. Now Sharif was in a race against time. But could he save his son at the expense of Holly's life? We'll find out!
It sounds like we both have very action-packed books to read.
Yeah, I hope this one has like a sword fight with the stereotypical like
Like
bent
scimitar?
sabers. Yeah.
I hope it has a sword fight, but it's dicks.
During sex.
Mm-hmm.
They're fighting with swords, but they're also having sex.
No, it's their dicks. Their dicks are the swords.
I don't understand what you're saying.
I'll explain it later.
You might have to just like draw a diagram and be like, see.
I have to learn what sex
have-
is before I do this podcast.
I'll send you some links.
It's been on my checklist for a while.
Been avoiding it.
So when can you plan on hearing stuff from you guys? That's me as your boss, asking when I can do the first episode.
We'll have it on your desk by.
What's your release schedule look like?
Well, we talked about having it put up on Fridays, right? We're just going to do it once a week.
Good start to the weekend, eh?
Yeah.
People will be at the office. They're like, I don't have really anything to do for this last hour before I have to go home. Then they can...
Except they get captured by a sheik.
Mhm.
Get nice and hot and bothered before they go home to the spouse.
Really, if anything, it's great motivation to start that weekend. Some like weekend inspiration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
what's something to look forward to?
Maybe you and your baby will get stolen.
Get spiced up this weekend.
That's what people are excited about. Maybe I'll be captured by a sheik.
That's such a boring title, though.
Just,
It's
What?
straightforward.
Is it
It gets to the point.
It's less boring than the Duchess of Love.
Hey, the Duchess of Love had a dog on the cover
That's
and a saucy
Hey,
leg.
Sally Mackenzie is a saint.
God
Bless
bless
you.
you.
God
Oh.
bless her.
I love you so much.
Why haven't you won any book awards yet?
She might have.
She might have. I don't know.
I didn't check.
I'm making
I would
assumptions.
The Nobel Prize of Literature.
I don't know if we have much else to say. Does anyone have any wrap-up thoughts?
No, but I'm excited to hear about Captured by a Sheik.
Don't tell my mom. That's my added.
Bye!